past few weeks, we've been doing this message series called Give Thanks. And again, it's not a statement, give thanks, it's a question. Give thanks? Really? Really, God, you want me to give thanks? Giving thanks in times and for things that you normally would never give thanks for. First time we talked about giving thanks during financial difficulties. Last week we talked about giving thanks during just the bad seasons, when bad things happen. Jesus was basically asked the question, why do bad things happen to good people? That's what we looked at last week. This week we're looking at giving thanks in times of sickness. And as I planned all this and looked at all this, I thought to myself, you know, I can stand up here and pontificate all day long. I can pull out Bible verse after Bible verse and go on and on and on, but maybe it would be better to actually hear from somebody else who's kind of in the thick of things right now. And so what I've done today, we're doing something a little bit different today, is I've asked Ryan Smeagol to come here today to just talk with us and just to share with us a little bit of his story. So Ryan, can you come on down here? Hear how he said good morning? All right, Ryan, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
How are all you guys?
Ryan, can you kind of introduce yourself to us? I think most of us probably know who you are, but can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Ryan Smeagol. I'm 23 years old and have been fighting cancer now for 2 years. But before that, I was working full-time for Consumers Energy and also taking classes at Delta College for marketing. I have an older sister, Tiffany, and a younger brother, Spencer. Parents are Roger and Donna Smeagol, and we grew up Lutheran. I've been Lutheran my whole life, and I've been a member here since 2010.
All right, you just said that you're fighting cancer. So 2 years ago, right? It was 2 years ago you received this diagnosis. Can you explain to us? As I told you last night, I can't even pronounce. Can you explain to us what you have and what's going on here?
Yeah, so on November 7th of 2014, I was actually diagnosed with a brain cancer called DIPG, which stands for diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. It's an inoperable brain tumor that's wrapped around my brainstem. We were told that it's non-curable, but it's treatable. So I received a ton of radiation and chemotherapy at Henry Ford in Detroit to shrink and stabilize the tumor. The treatment was hard, but it was working, and I was able to go back to work in the summer of 2015. Then I had some really bad back pain, so we got it checked out, and some of the tumor actually metastasized down into my spinal cord, causing my paralysis. And then at that time as well, I received my terminal diagnosis that the doctor said that my time here would expire within like 3 weeks. So I did more radiation, still on chemotherapy, and I went to the Rehab Institute for Physical Therapy and Occupational Therapy, and I'm still doing chemo every 6 to 8 weeks, but I'm getting strength in my legs back.
How did you find out about this? Because this is not something you normally show up and thinking of breaking it out.
Yeah, so I was having headaches every day, all day, but I worked in a call center, so I just thought it was kind of normal to have headaches if you're on the phone for 10 hours a day. But then my speech got really slurred and no one could really understand me. I thought it sounded clear, but after hearing some recordings, it really was bad. So we went to my primary doctor, and he scheduled an MRI, and then went and had that done. And then about an hour later, he called and said that they found abnormalities in my brain, and that I should go admit myself. And then they ran some more tests, and that's how we found out.
So it's been 2 years. Let me ask you this. What has been some of the hardest parts for you these past 2 years?
Some of the hardest parts have just been keeping positive every day and remaining strong in my faith. I do have my moments of my days, And I questioned God in the beginning, what did I do wrong to deserve this, or why He chose me to get it. I was, it goes without saying that adjusting to my new life has been hard, to say the least. I went from, being a healthy 21-year-old to losing my legs and having to basically learn to live a whole different way. I can't really do a lot of what my peers are doing as far as being spontaneous and just going places whenever they want, because my energy is so low. I actually have to plan my day out instead of just getting up and, okay, I'm going to do this today and this and this. So it's, takes effort to get up and just do normal things. But yeah, like I said, staying positive every day is a struggle. But it's easier knowing that so many people for me and all the support from friends, family, community, especially everyone praying.
Have there been, well, okay, this entire sermon series is giving thanks for things that normally we would never give thanks for. I don't know that there's a whole lot, I'm going to ask you that in a minute. There's a whole lot that you can give thanks for, but have there been some experience over the past couple of years, some good experiences that maybe you would not have had otherwise?
Yeah, when I was first diagnosed, in order to keep friends, family, and anyone who wanted to support me, my sister actually made a Facebook page called Fight with Smeegs. Through this page, I've met many people and have realized that there's way more people that don't know me that are still praying for me and following my journey. Through my faith, determination, and hard work, I've been told that I'm an inspiration, and it brought a lot of people back to the Lord, and have even strengthened others' faith. Not to forget my personal relationship with God and family. This trial has really brought us closer together and changed our whole perspective and outlook on life. I cannot do this on my own, so I'm so thankful for everyone that has been there with me. Through the brain cancer, we met a special family. Their names are John and Donna Reicha. They lost their daughter Megan to brain cancer just a few years ago. They now run a foundation called the Megan May Foundation, and they sent us on a memory-making cruise. They kind of asked me if I wanted to do anything, and I've always wanted to go on a cruise, so it was a lot of fun.
How about this? This is, I think, the hard question. Just straight out, Ryan, can you think of anything that you can genuinely say you are thankful for over the past couple? You already mentioned family and all that.
The strengthening of my faith personally and my relationship with God has gotten way stronger. Now I'm grateful for every moment, every minute of every day. Don't take anyone or anything for granted, because everyone has their own struggles. So there's no reason to judge anyone based on their actions or what they say. Material things don't really matter as much as everyone thinks they do. It really doesn't matter. Being in a wheelchair really opens your eyes to a whole new world based on how many people actually look at you a different way. But we're all just humans. We all just have different struggles that we're going through.
Now, the whole Fight with Smeegs support group, there we go. I was telling Ryan last night I didn't know what to call it. Fight with Smeegs campaign, movement, I didn't know what to call it. Support group, there we go. The theme verse is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I chose that verse when we decided to get shirts and make the Facebook page. I wanted that verse to be there because that was actually my confirmation verse. And it's helped me every step of the way during my journey. For instance, when the doctors told me last fall that my time was about to expire, I had a few weeks, I didn't really believe them, because I felt comfort in the room. Like God was in there with me with his healing hand on my shoulder, even though my parents and family were a wreck, I was at peace knowing that my time wasn't done. He wasn't ready for me yet. I partied too much. My faith has been tested, over and over again, but God has shown me with His love that He's got my back and we're in this together. I received numerous, cards, texts, messages, letters, telling me that because of my faith and never give up attitude, that it has inspired people to actually strengthen their faith and brought God back into their lives. I know this is not my doing, but it's God working through me. This is not the path that I ever would have imagined that my life would be going down at this point. It's taken some time and some praying, but I've accepted the new journey, and I really believe that God's just working through me and bringing people back to Him.
Have any words of wisdom for us here this morning?
Yeah. So life is hard. Cancer is hard. Anything you're dealing with can certainly be extremely tough. Just remember, you can do all things through Christ. And it's the verse that I always look back to whenever I have another obstacle to jump over. I want to personally thank each and every one of you for supporting me during this whole time, and my family as well, and to you as well. The last bit of advice I have is don't jump out of a plane without a parachute.
Thank you, Ryan.
That's good advice.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Sometimes, we've talked about this before, sometimes life just happens, and I don't think anybody would pick that journey. Did you all see now, though, in our gospel reading, what happened? Because it ties directly in a little bit here with what Ryan said. In our gospel reading, after church, Jesus went to Peter's house, and then that night, people from the town were bringing people to Peter's house to have Jesus healed them. And He did. Then early in the morning, before the sun came up, Jesus went off and prayed, and people were starting to gather again at Peter's house. Nobody knew where Jesus was. You can almost imagine the people pounding on Peter's front door. Where is he? Where is he? Peter goes and finds Jesus and kind of lets Jesus have it. Because everyone's looking for you. Come on, we've got to go back. You have work to do, Jesus. You need to heal people. But here's what sometimes we miss if we don't really look closely. Did you all hear what Jesus said? Jesus, you need to go back. There are people that need healing. And Jesus said, no. He said, I'm not going back. He said, I've come to fulfill a mission, and I need to do something here. And it's important, and physical life is important, yes, but there's a greater healing that I need to do, and that's the healing of souls. I have a mission that I need to fulfill, and He continued His way to the cross to heal souls, to give eternal life. I'm going to make a bet this morning. Because we are people when we all experience life here, I'm going to bet that probably every single person in this congregation this morning has felt like someone standing at Peter's front door before, knocking and saying, where are you, God? Where are you, Jesus? I need you. Why aren't you here? It's okay to ask that question. It's okay to have times of doubt. God can handle our questions. He's big enough to handle our questions. He's big enough to handle the I believe, but I'm struggling with. If I believe, help my unbelief. He's big enough to handle that. He also says to us, I've got your back. I'm going to take care of you. I have a bigger plan here. We see this. God sees this. So in the times of struggle, in the times of sickness, that's when we go to Him and we pour our hearts out to Him. And He says to us, I know this is hard. I'm not ignoring you. But please trust me that I have a plan here. Sometimes we may not see that plan. One final thing is about not seeing plans. Whenever we say the name Joseph, most of us think of the New Testament Joseph, Mary and Joseph. There was a Joseph in the Old Testament. The Joseph in the Old Testament was hated by his brothers. They sold him into slavery in Egypt. In Egypt, he wound up being in the prison until he finally became literally the second most powerful man in the nation. The only person above him was the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh. In that position, Joseph was able to gather a bunch of food to prepare for an oncoming famine. The famine came, people around the world were starving, Joseph's brothers came to Egypt to get food. Stuff happened, they recognized it was Joseph. At the end of Genesis, you can go to Genesis and read the last few chapters of Genesis. Joseph is talking to his brothers, and his brothers are scared to death. They're afraid Joseph's going to kill them because he has that power. Joseph said to his brothers, when you meant for evil, God meant for good. Because you did this to me, God turned it around, and I was able to gather the food and have food for starving people during the famine. I was able to save all these people. Joseph died thinking that that's what his life was all about. Joseph never knew. He never saw the big picture again. He saw this. God saw this. Because the whole purpose of Joseph getting sold into slavery, winding up in a prison in Egypt and all of that, the whole purpose of that was so that Joseph could save his brother Judah, one of the ones who sold him into slavery to begin with. Because Judah was an ancestor of Jesus. If Joseph had not saved Judah, none of us would be here today. The line of Jesus would have died out. Joseph didn't know that. And sometimes we don't know what God's bigger plan is. And it's hard. I know. You know. It's hard. And it's hard to be knocking on Peter's front door saying, where are you, God? But we give thanks that he has a bigger plan, that he can see beyond what we can see. And that frankly, he is God, because if we knew God's plan, we'd probably mess it up. So we give thanks. We give thanks. It's hard. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. Nobody. But it's what we do. And we give thanks especially for the cross, where our souls have been healed. Give thanks. Give thanks. Would you rise, please?